How late could I leave it to register?
That's a very good question, and it's true that up until the third and final call, when the hammer's about to fall, someone could put up their hand and say, I'd like to register the bid at that point. And it's within the auctioneer's power to stop the auction and allow that person to bid in that last moment. Now that would take a minute and a half to do the registration, to see the identification, etc. And it would not be unusual for the auctioneer to make a decision in the vendor's interest not to actually allow that to happen. Because in doing so, there's a possibility you could lose the other bidder, but most auctioneers would allow that person to bid. Now, we all prefer that people registered in a timely fashion, but what if you arrive late, you're held up in traffic, you just get there at the last moment, or in fact you're sitting back saying to yourself, I would pay this money and more for it, and they're about to sell it at a stupidly low figure. If I'd known this, I would have bid. And if that's the case, then that person has got to ask the question, can I bid for the property? And it would be unusual for the auctioneer to say no, but not entirely. It can happen. So it's a risky strategy, one that someone shouldn't choose to follow, but if you could avoid it, so register anyway. Many people register just in case, it goes for a silly number. And there's nothing wrong with doing that.
But the third name of the game was that?
Yeah, well, third and final call, and when the hammer falls, or when the auctioneer says bid, offered and sold, at that moment the rules of auction say that a bid can't be taken after the fall of the auctioneer's hammer, and that being the case, the property will sold. And I've had it happen where someone has bid after the hammer, and I've had to stick with the decision. I'm sorry, sir, the bid was down here. I did give you fair warning, and I give people plenty of time to think about it and make sure and check the entire crowd one more time just before the hammer falls. Check with the runner-up bidder.
So it's the fall of the hammer.
It's the fall of the hammer. The fall of the hammer. It's the axe when it.
At 927,500, it's in the middle now. At 927, going again, number 12. It's on the right-hand side then. At 930. 930, it's with you, sir, on the right-hand side. At 930,000, looking for another 2.5. At 930,000, it's on the right-hand side now. At $930,000, going through the calls in, 932.5. 932.5, back down the centre now at 932.5 and 5, he says at number 12. Number 17, number 12 is at 935. 935, it's on the right-hand side. At 935. At 935,000. At 935, it's on the right-hand side now at 935. At 935,000,